finished up to the 24th Sutra of Narada Bhakti Sutra. In the previous section, we saw how the teacher over here, the author of Narada Bhakti Sutra, he explained to us what are the various characteristics of bhakti according to different acharyas. What is their perspective about bhakti? And afterwards we saw if all the characteristics that were enumerated by Narada with respect to whatever the other acharyas had told, can we find it in one single devotee or devotees? Yes. The example that was taken was the gopis of Vrindavan. So there are so many devotees of the Lord, yet we've seen how Narada takes up the example of the humble, simple milkmaids of Vrindavan. So it just shows to us what was the level of bhakti that they had. And last time we went through that elaborately also. So in the next section over here, the teacher is glorifying bhakti. So in the 25th sutra, the teacher says, Satu karma jnana yogebhya api adhikatara. Sa means that supreme devotion. Which supreme devotion? Which has been enumerated to us by Narada, and also all the other rishis have given their own perspective. All of them put together stands for the highest devotion to the Lord. So that devotion, the teacher here says, adhikatara means it is even more superior to adhika means greater, more. So adhikatara means superior. It is more greater than, it is more superior to. It is greater than what? It is superior to what? The teacher tells us over here, karma, jnana and yoga. So there are so many paths that we are familiar with, which according to our constitution we can take to that particular path to reach the Lord. We have the jnana yoga, the path of knowledge. We have the path of karma yoga. We have the path of raja yoga. The very meaning of yoga is to leave the lower or to discard and reject the lower and reach out to the higher. So whatever we are doing, because it all depends on our constitution, physical, mental and intellectual. So actually no two bhaktas will be following the same path, though they are on bhakti marga. No two jnanis, no two contemplators, meditators will be using the same technique of meditation. They may be the disciples of the same teacher. Both of them are walking the path of dhyana. But still, the teacher may give one technique to one disciple, another technique completely different to the other disciple. But both are walking the path of contemplation. So it all depends on us. So there are very many paths that are there which we can take to reach out to the Lord. But they have broadly been classified as karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, raja yoga, etc. So and we have bhakti yoga, which over here Narada has taken up. So he says over here, compared to all the other paths, the path of karma, the path of jnana, the path of dhyana, the path of raja yoga, he says bhakti is very, very superior. It is the best. It doesn't mean that one is inferior and one is superior. All that he means is it's very, very easy. It is very, very accessible to all of us. That's what he means over here. But we can ask him, sir, why did you say that bhakti is superior to all the other paths? So then the teacher in the next sutra is telling us over here, because he says, sutra number 26, palarupatvat. Palarupatvat means it is of the nature of the final result itself. Any other path when we take, supposing we take the path of dhyana or jnana, what is the ultimate goal that we have set in our lives? Mukti, moksha, enlightenment. We want to reach the Lord. So that is the end. That is the goal for us. To reach that end or to reach the goal, we have to take to some means. We have to take to some path. What is it that has been advised to us by the teacher? Either they will say karma, or they will say jnana, or they will say dhyana, etc. So in all the other cases except bhakti, the means is different, the end is different. And why have we taken up to that particular path, or why have we taken up to that particular means? To reach the end. And what is the end? That is the final result. Phala it is. That is why the teacher uses the word over here, phala rupatvat. So phala means the end product. So keeping in mind the end product, which is mukti, moksha, realization, or Ishvara darshana, because saguna also is included over here, even in dhyana, the meditator may want to see the Lord in a form, particular form. So keeping that as the goal or as the end, here there is a means that has been we have been initiated into, or there is a path that the teacher has advised us. Now for all of them, there will be some prerequisite. If we want to take up to the path of knowledge, the teacher will insist in the beginning, something elementary should be there in us. In fact, when Adi Shankara gives to us the Viveka Chudamani, before he enters into the subject matter, he gives to us all the prerequisites that a sadhaka should have. Without these prerequisites, can a student enter into the text? They can enter. We can go and hear, we can read, but it will not benefit us so much. Why? We don't have the prerequisites. So if these prerequisites are there, Viveka, Vairagya, Shatsampatti, Mumukshutva, etc., and he says Bhakti also there, walking the path will be easier. Understanding what the teacher has told us or is telling us in a satsang or in a class will become easy. If we want to enter into the graduation, BSc or BA, we should have finished our pre-university. And it's not just finishing our pre-university. It depends on, if we want science stream, we should have finished our pre-university in the science stream itself. So it's a prerequisite. So without the pre-university, I can't enter into graduation. Without passing the 10th standard board exam, we cannot enter into the pre-university or the 11th grade and the 12th grade. These are all prerequisites. So in all other paths, there is a prerequisite. Some favorable conditions we should have adopted in us or brought it into our system, maybe at the physical level, maybe at the mental level, and maybe at the intellectual level also. In the case of bhakti, there is no prerequisite at all. There is nothing necessary. Why? It's just love. To love anybody, do I need a condition? We don't. There was let's say a stranger has just walked into the neighborhood, new neighbors. In the beginning, 2-3 days, we smile, they smile, and afterwards we get introduced to each other. And then I say, I like her. I just love her. What prerequisite is there? It's so unconditional. So therefore, in the path of love or in the path of bhakti, there is no need for any precondition or prerequisite. And also, in all the other paths, there is a fear of fall. Karma yoga. We are very, very serious about it. Yes, we intend to perform all our karma as a puja, as a yajna, as a karma yoga. So drop the I, drop the mind. Consider ourselves an empty instrument for the Lord to function through us. And everything that any activity that we initiate, any particular activity that we initiate, it's not my will, it's all Bhagavan's will. It's all more easier said than done. Somewhere in some corner, the I and mind will come. Once the I and mind comes, that karma will no more be a yajna. It will no more be a worship of the Lord. It will become a egocentric, selfish, desire-ridden activity. So there immediately we have fallen. So every karma that we undertake, small or big, significant or insignificant, in our house or outside the house. We have to be so careful and be alert and watch out within ourselves. Has the ego come up somewhere? Has the I and the mind come over there? Once the I and the mind comes, there we have fallen. Similarly is the case of dhyana, jnana. In the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells us, it's not so easy. Whenever you are thinking of the Lord, over there it is Atman. He says the mind will derail. We have put the mind on one track. Well, let's take Saguna. So maybe we are taking up the mantra, Shiva mantra. So Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Which means we have put the mind on one single track. So as we are repeating our mantra or chanting our mantra, from Shiva we may go to Shiva Prasad. The mind is like that. Bhagavan says, whenever the mind derails, immediately be on the lookout, be careful, watch out. Immediately bring it back onto the track. Because from Shiva to Shiva Prasad, if we go, whoever it is, then we are completely off the track. Who is Shiva Prasad? Maybe the milk person who brings the milk daily to our house. Yesterday he did not come. Why did he not come? He asked us for leave. He said 2 days I won't be able to come. Why? We asked him. Maybe he said I'm going to my village, he said. So from Shiva Prasad we go to his village and then we can go around the whole world without visa, without passport and come back. So we have not progressed at all, even a little bit, in our japa or in our dhyana. So Bhagavan says over there. So whenever the mind goes off the track, then and then alone bring it back. And also he says slowly bring the mind to one track. It's not very easy at all. Because for so many years, for so many janmas, we have been so comfortable being extroverted. So to be extrovert is not at all exhausting for us. It's not at all a challenge for us. It doesn't bring a sense of fatigueness to us. But to make the mind take a U-turn and go inward is a challenge for all of us. So therefore fear of fall will be there. We thought we had done this much of japa. But when we were taking the Lord's name, mechanically also sometimes we can take the Lord's name. How much did we connect with the Lord when we were taking the Lord's name? The beads we may be moving the beads, japamala, around our finger. But every time we took the Lord's name, were we connected with the Lord? We do not know. So there is fear of fall. So in all other paths, there is fear of fall. And also like certain prerequisites should be there. In the case of bhakti, no prerequisites required. There is no sense of fall at all. How much I love her, example, vyavahara, our type of love. How much ever I love her, she reciprocates back. If I love her more, she reciprocates more back. Similarly is with the Lord. It all depends on how much we are connecting with Him, how much we are invoking Him, how much we are identifying with Him. Slowly when we strengthen our bhakti and shraddha, because they both go together, more and more we connect with the Lord over there. He reciprocates also in the same way. So the more our devotion for Him, the more we connect with Him, the more He will connect with us also. We have seen it in the life of all our saints. So therefore in the case of bhakti, we don't need any precondition at all to start walking the path. Whereas in the case of karma, we need to know what karma yoga is. I want to take up to the path of karma yoga. First of all, we need to know what exactly is karma yoga. 3rd chapter, 4th chapter, 5th chapter, exhaustively Bhagavan deals with it in the Bhagavad Gita. We want to walk the path of knowledge. We need sufficient knowledge with us to walk the path. Similarly, the path of dhyana, we have to get initiated into the techniques of meditation. Precautions have to be told to us. What errors we will encounter, the obstacles, the challenges, all that the teacher should tell us. But in the case of this, there are no conditions at all. We can just start from where we are. Bhakti. Wherever we are. Any qualification required? No. Any precondition required? No. Prerequisite required? No. Wherever we are, we can just start off. Here and now we can start. Till today we never thought of the Lord. Maybe we've never thought about Him. Why? Everything is very, very comfortable for us. Maybe we were an atheist also. So now, can I turn to the Lord? We can immediately turn to the Lord. Can I practice bhakti towards the Lord? We can. Do I need to have any qualifications? Nothing we need to have with us. We can just start from where, but I'm a great sinner. Maybe somebody will say, so what? Start from wherever you are. Love has got, the love that is there in each one of us has got nothing to do with the sin, the papa and the punya that we've already done. We just start loving. Love is there in all of us human beings. We love things, we love beings. Some beings we love more, some beings we love less, but we love people. When we started loving all those people, were any conditions required? No. We just started loving them. So similarly, wherever we are here and now, we can just start loving the Lord. Because that love is there in all of us. When we love the Lord, it is called as bhakti. It is called as devotion. So therefore, here the teacher says, it is the easiest path, the best path for all of us. So, and therefore he says adhikatara, he says greater, he says superior. And also the Sutra 26 which we just now read, palarupatvat. Love is its own fulfillment. For anything else, there is something which if it comes into our life, then only sense of fulfillment can come. Then only sense of satisfaction can come. Then only sense of contentment can come. And we can say, yes, I am feeling fulfilled. Because the goal is there, the end is there. The means is here. We have started from our journey, from wherever we are. We are looking up to that goal. So that goal must come to us. Only when we reach the goal or the goal comes into our lives, it becomes one with us. The end becomes one with us. Then only we can say, yes, I am feeling fulfilled. Yes, I am feeling satisfied. But in the case of love, it's not like that at all. It is of the nature of the end product itself. Why? God is love. And we just love Him. So like I said earlier, no conditions required. There is no fear of fall anywhere at all. And love is its own end. A bhakta, if we ask him, have you reached the goal? Do you think you have reached the goal? Do you feel fulfilled? Yes, I am already fulfilled. I don't want anything is what a bhakta will say. Then what do you want to do? I just want to keep loving the Lord. That's all. I revel in my love, in my devotion towards the Lord of my heart. Don't you seek anything from the Lord? I don't seek anything from the Lord, is what a true bhakta will say. That's what the gopis were standing for. Nothing. When Dhruva went to the forest, he had a goal before he undertook his severe austerity. Once the Lord came in front of him and asked him, what do you want? He said, I don't want anything at all. I have seen you, that is more than enough. I am already fulfilled. That is why we call all of them as the greatest of devotees. Prahalada. I don't want, Bhagavan asks him, Narasimha, what do you want? I have come in front of you. You have gone through so much of trouble. His own father gave him so much of trouble. Now you tell me what you want. I am prepared to give you a boon. Prahalada says, I don't want anything at all. You are there in front of me, that's enough. May my devotion to you keep on multiplying, increasing. So the more we love, it becomes easy when we think of a person. The more we love a person, the more we are connecting with that person, or we are identifying with that person. So 100% if we love that person, 100% we will get connected to, we will get identified with that person. So much so that the person's joys and sorrows will become ours. That's what they say. It's one soul but two bodies. This is what it means. We become one over there. If that can happen with friends, if that can happen between, let's say between two brothers, if that can happen between any two people, why can't it happen with the Lord? So 100% or more than that, if we may say so, 120% devotion to the Lord, 120% we are identified with Him and connected with Him, so much so He becomes a part and parcel of our life. In fact, the devotee and Bhagavan become one. They are not two at all, they are one. That is why we see the Lord entering the devotee's life. Whenever the devotee is in trouble, He comes in. He takes on a disguise, He takes on a robe. With some form He'll come to help the devotee, depending on whatever circumstance they are going through. The devotion of the devotee just pulls the Lord down to where He is. Bhagavan says to Narada, I don't dwell in Vaikuntha. They say I dwell in Vaikuntha. I dwell in all yogis' hearts. I don't dwell all over there, Narada, I said. Then Bhagavan, where do you dwell? Where my devotees are glorifying me and singing my glories, I dwell over there, Bhagavan says. That's what He loves. So therefore, pala rupatvat, love is its own fulfillment. Kulashekar Alvar so beautifully says in his Mukundamala, I don't want anything, he says. What about mukti, moksha? Because that's the goal with which many of the sadhakas start their spiritual journey. So he says over there, very autobiographically he says over there, I don't even want mukti and moksha and this merging with you and all. I don't want that. I am prepared to come back to the surface of the earth any number of times. So birth and death, he is okay with it. But there is a condition he puts. Wherever I am born, in any place, any time, any situation, I must be devoted to you. That's all he asks the Lord. So you bring me back over here. I am not interested in mukti, I am not interested in moksha. I don't want anything. I don't want to even merge with you. I just want to love you. And to love you, I don't mind coming back again and again and again onto the surface of the earth. But you just make sure that I am always your bhakta. That's one little condition. Don't make me, after I come back again, don't make me turn away from you. That's all is a demand over there. Kulashekar Alvar. In fact, the threshold over there in Tirupati, Tirumala, up the hills, Tirumala temple, Venkateshwara temple, there are so many doors through which we cross, and then the inner sanctum is there. We can go only up to a certain level, up to a certain point. Beyond that is the inner sanctum, which we call as Garbhagriha. So there is a threshold over there which separates where we are standing from the inner sanctum sanctorum. That threshold over there is called as Kulashekara Padi. Padi means step. It's a step over there. We cross the step. So many places there are doors. We cross. Our houses will have a step, a threshold over there. So Padi means step. Kulashekara Padi. He says, I just want to be over here. As a step over there. A granite step over there. Make me a granite step over here. So that constantly I'll keep on seeing your smiling lotus face. Prasanna Vadana. I just want to keep on looking at you. For that I want to be very close to you. How close? Make me that stepping stone over there. He could have asked for anything else. The humility over there, the humbleness over there. A stepping stone over there. Which is lower than any other dravya that is there in the inner sanctum. Just over there, so that I can keep on looking at your face, your beautiful lotus face is what Kulashekar asks over there. So which means in the case of bhakti, bhakti is its own fulfillment. Love is its own fulfillment. A true devotee of the Lord will actually not ask for anything at all. Bhakti is enough, that's it. You wealth you want, no, nothing they will want. They've sacrificed everything. Actually, they don't even consider it as a sacrifice. Where true love is there, automatically we will let go of everything. In our terms, sacrificing. Where true love is there, parents, true love for their children. Parents do have true love for their children. Automatically they will sacrifice everything for their education or for whatever it be. Maybe to settle them down. Any sacrifice is okay for them. From our standpoint, it's going to be very difficult for them. It's going to be difficult for you if you give up so much, or whatever it be there. You're prepared to give away all. Maybe they have to sell the house. Maybe they have to quit their job. It depends. They are prepared to do everything for their children. Why? Love for their children. So in bhakti, sacrifice is always included and incorporated. We can't say I love a person, very truly I love that person, completely and totally I love that person, and that person is in trouble, or when they ask for something, we say no. In true love, there will not be insult, there won't be abusing, there won't be sadistic remarks. Why? If we love that person, all that we want to see is the happiness and the joy of that person. We want to see that person whom we love happy and joyful. So how can I ever do anything by thought, word or deed which will make them unhappy, which will make them sad? Not possible. If at all we do it, then there is no love over there. Same thing with the Lord. So therefore always bhakti will be clubbed with or associated with sacrifice. Anything. Tyagaraja Swami, we have gone through it so many times. When the king sent ornaments, gold coins, silken robes and said, you become my court musician, he said no. They were in sheer poverty. But he says no. My devotion to my Rama is my wealth. Please take back everything. Which means the very love, the very bhakti or the devotion that Tyagaraja Swami was practicing, he felt so much completely and totally fulfilled in it. If he doesn't feel fulfilled, if he doesn't feel contented, if he doesn't feel satisfied, then there will always be a longing and a craving. I wanted this, but it didn't come in my life. Now, it came, but I gave it away. I let it go. There was nothing like that at all. No, any regret? No. So, which means bhakti is of the nature of Purnatva itself. It is of the nature of total, absolute fulfillment. A bhakta will never ever demand anything else after that. Why? He is already fulfilled. What more does he need? Innenu, Dasaru writes. He says, Haridasara Sangha Dorakitu Yanage Innenu. The glory of satsang, it will come later on. Why so much importance given to satsang? Because in satsang we can revel in the glory of the Lord. So our devotion will come over there. So he says, I have got now around me and about me lots of satsang. Why? People, like-minded devotees are there around me. What more do I want? What more do I want is what Dasaru says over there. When he had his 9 crores, Purandara Dasaru, he was called Srinivasa Nayaka, richest person. Those days, 9 crore. I don't know how many zeros we have to add over there. 9 lakh crore or 90 lakh crore, we do not know. So those days he was one who had 9 crore wealth with him. But still he was not satisfied. He was utterly discontent. He wanted more, he wanted more, he wanted more. He was such a miser. He wouldn't give even one coin as dana to anybody. No charity done. But once he did Krishnarpana to his 9 crore, the story is very beautiful, that total transformation that happened to Srinivasa Nayaka. So he just did Krishnarpana to his 9 crore. Just let it go. Not let it go physically, let it go from his mind. And he became Purandara Dasa. At that time he says, Innenu, Innenu. I've got everything that I want. Why? Krishna is my Muttu, he says. Muttu Kolliro. All my gems is my Lord. My Lord is everything for me. He is my wealth. Inexhaustible, eternal, changeless wealth. That is what is the treasure of a bhakta. Therefore, Palarupatvat. Then in the 20th sutra again, the teacher is saying over here that little comparing and contrasting of bhakti marga with the other margas, with the other part. Here in the 27th sutra, the teacher says, Ishwarasya api abhimana dveshitvat dainya priyatvat cha. So not only is devotion the superior most or the best or the greatest or the easiest, because it is of the nature of its own result, but also for this factor. What is it? The teacher tells us over here, Ishvara means Lord. So general expression has been used over here. It can be Shiva, it can be Vishnu, it can be Devi, it can be any of our deities whom we are worshipping. Our Ishtadevata. So Ishwarasya api, even Bhagavan, what does he dislike has been given over here. So what does Bhagavan dislike? Is there something Bhagavan dislikes? We never knew that he also has got likes and dislikes. Bhagavan dislikes something and likes something. What is it? The teacher tells us over here. So he says, Bhagavan also, he is Abhimana Dveshitvat. He hates. Desha means to hate, not like. What does he dislike? Bhagavan dislikes Abhimana. Ego, the sense of ego, pride, vanity. Bhagavan doesn't like that at all. In whom? In his devotees. So if we are practicing devotion and immediately we go around saying, do you know what a great devotee I am? Devarshi Narada has told us exactly what Bhagavan dislikes over here. So we know where we stand over there. In spite of calling ourselves a devotee, we go around proclaiming, declaring, glorifying our bhakti, or comparing and contrasting our love for the Lord with somebody else's love. I love the Lord more than you. Bhagavan, very clearly Bhagavan dislikes this. What does he dislike? Our abhimana. He doesn't like egoism, this vanity, this pride, arrogance. They're all interrelated. He doesn't like it. Then what does he like? Dainya priyatvat. Dainya means humbleness, humility, meekness over them. It doesn't mean that we must become something like, people say, they become a carpet for everybody to tread on. It doesn't mean that at all. Meekness and humbleness is total surrender unto the Lord. So both these, one Bhagavan likes, one Bhagavan dislikes. And in the case of a bhakta, these two will be there. Automatically it will come in. True bhakta is what we are talking about. Actually, bhakta is bhakta. We can't say true bhakta and not a true bhakta. Not a true bhakta is not a bhakta at all. So in bhakti, or the teacher says, bhakti is superior because of this factor also. What is that factor? In a devotee, Bhagavan likes this and Bhagavan dislikes it. And we will find this in the relationship between the Lord and his devotee. So Bhagavan doesn't like anybody being egoistic. Again, in our Puranas, we will find so many stories of these devotees. Little bit their ego goes up. Not even so, a substantial amount of ego. Little bit of ego. A suspicion of an ego comes. There, Bhagavan is there ready to prick that balloon, that bubble over there. Somehow some situation will be created, somehow an environment will be created, and a beautiful drama will be enacted over there, maybe with different characters also. And the ultimate this thing will be that devotee's ego, it had come. Bhagavan doesn't like, he dislikes Abhimana in his devotees. So if at all the ego comes, he doesn't want his devotee to have that ego at all. Bhagavan dislikes it. Therefore, what will he do? He will try to remove that Abhimana. How will he remove it? Well, a Leela will be created around and about. And very often we find Narada being used for this. So the moment ego comes, Bhagavan thinks of Narada. Narada is ready over there. And both of them will nicely create a drama over there. And what is the end climax scene of that drama? The ego of the devotee has been punctured. And the devotee also realizes it. So we can find so many of these stories. Even Narada himself is a very beautiful story. Narada once became very egoistic. With Narada himself, there are so many stories also. Narada and Hanumanji. But there is one more over here. He thought, there is no devotee greater than me. Why? 24/7, 365 days, constantly I am singing the Lord's glories. Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. If he has to talk to somebody, yes, he will talk. After that, it will become Narayana, Narayana, Japa. So is there a devotee greater than me? I don't think there is a devotee greater than me, is what he thinks. Bhagavan comes to know about it. Vishnu, Narayana comes to know about it. So he has to now take away the Abhimana from Narada's mind. Then Narada comes to Vaikuntha. And he asks also, Lord, is there any devotee greater than me? Your devotee greater than me? Every day, every moment, I keep thinking of you. I keep chanting your name. I keep glorifying you. But Narada is Narada is the one who has given to us music also, that art. So therefore he said, I constantly sing your praises. I constantly chant your name. I don't think there is anybody equal to me. I am your greatest devotee. Bhagavan says, no. There is one who is greater than you, a greater devotee than you. Narada is slightly displeased, unhappy becomes. Greater devotee than me? Where is he? He asks the Lord. He says, down there below on the surface of the earth, there is a poor farmer over there. He is my greatest devotee. So the poor farmer over there, day and night sweating over there in the fields, he's got nothing to do. How can he be a greater devotee than me? Bhagavan says, go and test for yourself. Narada comes down. So unseen, he stays over there very close to the farmer's hut. 2 days, 3 days he stays. Because he wants to watch how many times that farmer will take the Lord's name. So what does the farmer do? Early morning he gets up. Once he says Narayana. The full bhakti and shraddha, he says Narayana. And then he gets into his routine job. He takes a bath and then he picks up whatever he has to pick up and he goes to the agricultural field. He eats something, carries also some food along with him and he goes to the fields. And there he is working. Narada follows him. Not even a second time he utters the name of Narayana because he is fully engrossed in his work. Then at the end of the day, dusk time, evening time, Sandhya time, he comes back. There was no electricity those days, he comes back. He's all dirty, he's all full of sweat, mud, because he's been working in the field over there. Goes, takes a bath over there in his home. And then before he eats his dinner, once more he says Narayana, has his dinner and goes off to sleep. sound sleep. He's snoring over there. Narada feels on the first day, maybe first day he has taken the Lord's name only twice. So maybe let me wait for another 1 or 2 more days and see. So second day also the same thing is repeated. Third day also the same thing is repeated. Every day the farmer has taken the Lord's name only twice. After the three days are over, Narada is so angry with Narayana. He goes back, he rushes back to Vaikuntha. He says, Lord, this is not fair. What is not fair? 3 days I stayed over there, 3 full days and nights, just to see how many times that farmer is going to take your name. Every day only twice. I counted. Morning Narayana once, evening Narayana once. First day. Second day also the same thing. Third day also the same thing. So 3 days he has taken your name only 6 times. 3 times in the morning, 3 times in the evening. And here I am taking your name day and night, day and night, day and night. How can that farmer be greater than me? Bhagavan says, I will give you the answer. I will answer your question. But before that, one small little job I will give you. You will have to do it for me. He says, okay, I will do. Whatever you say, I will do. So Bhagavan gives him a small little pot filled up to the brim with a liquid, maybe water, maybe oil, full up to the brim. Not one more extra drop we can add on to it. It will spill over. So Bhagavan says, all that I want you to do is carry this pot full of oil or pot full of water on your head. Just go around Vaikuntha and come. That's all you want me to do? It's so easy. Yes, that's all I want you to do. Narada can't even understand why Bhagavan is making him do all these funny things. Anyway, he keeps his veena to one side, picks up the pot full of, let's say, oil or water. We'll use water, places it on his head and slowly moves around Vaikuntha. The only condition Bhagavan put was not a drop of water should spill. Go around Vaikuntha and come. I will answer your question. So Narada's concentration was fully on the pot that was placed on his head, which is full up to the brim. And he has to make sure not even a drop spills off. Anyway, he went on so slowly, step by step, he went round the entire Vaikuntha. He made sure that not a drop of water spilled. And then came back. Very happy he was, because whatever job the Lord had given to him, he had successfully completed it. So he heaved a sigh of relief. Job accomplished, successfully accomplished. And he told the Lord, I have gone round Vaikuntha, just as you told me to, with the pot of water on my head. It was filled up to the brim, and Bhagavan, not even a drop has been spilled. You can check it out. So mission accomplished. Bhagavan smiled and said, good, very good. You're very skillful. And then he said, when you went round Vaikuntha, how many times did you remember me? Simple question Bhagavan asked. When you went round Vaikuntha, it's not a very big area. Not go around earth. Vaikuntha. Let's say Bhagavan's house, palace. How many times did you remember me? Narada was a little confused. He said, how can I remember you when you have given me such a big job to do? What is the big job I gave you? That not even a drop of water should spill from the pot when I go around Vaikuntha. Is that a very big job? Of course it was. All my concentration, all my focus was on the pot of water that was placed on my head. I had to make sure that not even a drop spills down. So all my concentration was on that and my step that I was putting forward. How can I think of you when I am doing this? My focus and concentration was on something else. Then Bhagavan told him, a small little piece of job is what I gave you. What is it? A pot of full water, no doubt up to the brim. Balance it on your head and go around Vaikuntha. Distance also was not big. I just gave you this small little job to do. How long did you take? A few minutes or maybe 1 hour, 2 hours? And in that time, for this small little job, you didn't even remember me even once. Look at that farmer over there. He's got so much of trouble. Poverty is there. He's got a family to look after. So much of duties, so much of responsibilities he's got. Nothing is comfortable for him over there. He doesn't have even a decent 2 meals a day. And he has to work on the field in the hot sun, sweating over there. It's not an easy job. But still, in spite of that, the job that was on agriculture, day and night, even one day he did not forget me. Once in the morning, once in the evening. He never forgot me. So in spite of all his trouble, in spite of all his distractions, in spite of his attention diverted to so many people, so many things, yet he never forgot to take my name once in the morning and once in the evening. Isn't he greater than you? Narada understood. It was not the chanting of the name what mattered. What mattered was his ego had gone up. So Bhagavan doesn't like Abhimana. Abhimana dveshi is. So the moment in a devotee that ego, even our acharyas are like that, our gurus are like that. Most of the time disciples will be complaining, the guru said like this, the guru said like this, the guru scolded me. The guru never scolds like any other member of our family scolds. Our family members, whenever they scold, whatever it be, they carry it with them. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, it will be there along with them. Their anger also will continue. But in the case of an acharya or a teacher, all that they want to do is to take away or rip away the ego that is there in us. So when the disciple is there with the teacher over there, whether it is God and devotee or guru and disciple, it doesn't make a difference. When the teacher sees the shishya slightly ego going up, again they will create some nice environment, a little drama, or the teacher may raise his voice and in front of everybody, say something, angrily say something, get very angry and scold the student, and that scolding sometimes will never be in private. It will be in front of everybody. But after that, the teacher goes back to his own state in which he is reveling. It's like they use that anger. We normally don't use our anger. We have consistently got anger with us. It's our eternal companion. Masters are not like that. It's like we have our mobile in our little bag. When we need, it's in the bag. We don't need it all the time. When we need the mobile, we take it out, use it and put it back into the bag. That's how masters use anger or anything. When they want to pull up their disciple, they use many techniques. One of them is anger or a scolding, just to prick that ego. Once the ego gets hurt, their job is done. We have to be alert why the teacher behaved like that towards us. Oh, our ego was going up. So they've used the anger and put it back also. Afterwards, they're never again angry with us. They may even say, "Sir, you got angry with me. When did I get angry?" They may say. It's not lies over there. They've just moved ahead. They put it all behind. They won't bring the past back again into the present. 1 hour before I got angry with you, isn't it? Now why are you telling me that? Talking about this anger, I have forgotten about it. It doesn't even, that angry session between you and me, the teacher says, has been forgotten by me. It doesn't exist in me. They don't carry impressions like how we carry impressions. So whether it is the Lord or whether it is our master, they are not ones who like this abhimana in all of us. Vanity, ego, pride. So abhimana dvesh, Bhagavan is like that. And also he loves the dainyata, surrender, total surrender onto the Lord. Nothing is mine, nothing is, actually it is so. But then somehow we think we are indispensable. We hold on to things, we hold on to beings. But in the truest sense, nothing is ours. Nothing can help us. Nothing can protect us. Nobody can be our refuge also. Then who is it? Only Bhagavan. He alone is the sole protector. He is alone the sole refuge for all of us. These are all temporary. The things that we hold on to, the people that we hold on to, things and beings come and go in our life. It increases, it decreases, it comes, it goes. None of them can really be a support. Ultimate support is who? Only Bhagavan. Dasaru says, Laksha Vaidyariddharu Pakshivahanana Daya Illadiddare, he says. A person who is sick may have the best of doctors, team of doctors. He says Laksha. Laksha means 1 lakh, around and about them. But if Pakshivahana, if Bhagavan's grace is not there, what can even 1 lakh doctors do? Nothing will work out. But if Bhagavan's grace is there, a doctor is also not needed. Miraculously the person will get cured. How, when, what happened, it's all again depending on the circumstance and situation. So when we realize that ultimately Bhagavan alone is the sole refuge for us, sole protector for us, which is the truth, then only surrender will come to us. Total and complete surrender. That is what Dainyata means. Dainya Priya, Bhagavan loves. What does he love? He loves this surrender bhava in all of us. Because only when we surrender onto him, he can take over. Arjuna and Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna is arrogating onto himself. Not that he has got ego. Somewhere I and mine has come. In the beginning he told the Lord, I want you. I don't want your Yadava army. When Arjuna and Duryodhana went to request the Lord for help for the Mahabharata war, Arjuna was given the choice first. Duryodhana was panicking. And what was the choice? Whole Yadava army which will fight. And on one side is Krishna who will not fight. And the first choice was given to Arjuna. Duryodhana was panicking. Why? He wanted the army. He was afraid that Arjuna will take off the army. But Arjuna said, no, I don't want your army, I want you. And Duryodhana was like, thank God. How foolish and how stupid of Arjuna. So he got what he wanted and he left. Bhagavan asked Arjuna, why did you not choose my army which will fight for you? And you chose me who will not fight for you. He said, I know who you are. I want you on my side. Even if you don't fight, I want you on my side. And I have a request, he said. I want you to drive my chariot. It looks like how dare Arjuna ask the Lord to drive his chariot. Charioteer. So when we go into the inner significance of it, it means, Lord, you take charge of my life. In my life's battle. Life itself is a sangram, Jivan sangram. So in the battle of life, in my battle of life, I don't want to be the driver of my own chariot. I don't think I can take it safely to its destination. So I'll sit behind. You become the charioteer, the driver of my life's chariot and take it safely through. That's what Arjuna asks. But somewhere when both the armies come face to face with each other on the battlefield, somewhere that I and mine comes to him. He is overwhelmed by emotion because it's a civil war. Civil war between cousins, first cousins they are. On the other side he's got his Pitamaha, Bhishma, Acharya, all the people known to him, all related to him, friends. Till yesterday they were all together. It's not so easy. So therefore he collapses over there. He doesn't know what is right. He doesn't know what is wrong. What should I do? Krishna, I do not know. What I should not do also, I do not know. I am totally confused. Looks like much better. Drop the war, drop everything and go away. Let them rule over. That is Arjuna's sthiti over there. From there onwards, Bhagavan rehabilitates him. Even a devotee feels like that, how immediately the Lord comes to revive him, to put him back onto his 2 feet. That is Hanumanji bringing the Sanjeevani also. Significance part. So then Bhagavan, then he starts to advise Arjuna, which is the contents of the Bhagavad Gita. And then Bhagavan says over there, you just become an instrument in my hand. Mere instrument. Why are you worried? They've already been killed by me, Arjuna. What are you talking about killing the loved ones on the other side, killing the elders on the other side? They've all been killed by me, means time has already come face to face with them. So you don't have any choice. Even if you do not fight, their life is already gone. I am Kala, he says over there. So all that I want you to do is just become an instrument in my hand. Bhagavan easily could have done whatever Arjuna did. But Bhagavan gave to Arjuna an opportunity for becoming an instrument in his hand, and he says, after that, glory is yours, fame is yours, as though you did everything. But in fact, without wielding even one weapon, it's Bhagavan who won the war. Actually, he is the one who fought without fighting. He is the one who killed without using even one weapon. Why? Because Bhagavan stands for Dharma. Ultimately, everything boils down to only Dharma and Adharma. Come what may in our lives. Are we on the side of Dharma or are we on the side of Adharma? Come what may. Whether it is in the office, whether it is in the marketplace, whether it is in the house, whether it is even through any relationships, it's all a question of Dharma and Adharma. On which side are we on? If we are on the side of Dharma, yes, we win. Why? Bhagavan will be always on the side of Dharma. Never ever he will go on the side of Adharma. If we are on the side of Adharma, whatever we be, powerful, mighty, famous, glorious, celebrity, ultimate fall. That's what Mahabharata is teaching us over there. Bhishma Pitamaha tells Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira gets down from his chariot and goes up to Bhishma Pitamaha and asks for his blessing. Just before the war starts, Bhishma Pitamaha tells him, you are always on the side of Dharma. That's why Yudhishthira is called as Dharmaraya. And Yudhishthira. Yuddha means conflict. Any conflict, inner conflict, Sthira is always balanced. So you are always on the side of Dharma. Where Dharma is, Bhagavan will be there. Where Bhagavan is, Vijaya will always be there. Victory will always be there. You don't need my blessings. Just go and do whatever you are supposed to do, is what Bhishma tells him and sends him back. Even Bhishma knows. So it's just becoming an empty instrument. Arjuna therefore doesn't know what to do. Then he seeks the Lord's advice. And then Bhagavan tells, all of them have been already filled. Time has already consumed everything. You are only to play your part over there. That's all. And he says, Nimitta matra bhava savyasacha. Become a mere instrument in my hand. He says that in the 11th chapter. 9th chapter, Bhagavan says, Yoga kshemam vahamyaham. Your yoga and your kshema means whatever we have in our lives. It has to be maintained, looked after, nurtured, nourished. Yoga means what has already not come into our lives, but we want it in the near future. Bhagavan says, both of them I will look after. He doesn't say I will look after, he says, it's my responsibility. Yoga kshemam vahamyaham. Your yoga and your kshema are my responsibility, provided you totally surrender onto me. That's what dainyata means over there. Humility and meekness is not negative. It's not being a coward, or it doesn't mean being helpless, useless. I do not know what to do. I only depend on you. Being dependent on somebody. It's a very, very powerful, strong trait and a characteristic in a person. And that's what the Lord wants in his devotee. So therefore over here in the 27th sutra, the teacher says Bhagavan likes people who are humble, who are totally and unconditionally surrendered onto him, and also he doesn't like even the suspicion of an ego in his devotee, is what he said. With this again one section is over with sutra number 27. Sutra number 28 we will take it up in the next class.